Hi, everybody. Welcome to Mama Says. I'm your host, Amber Autry, and I'm glad you're here. This week, I talked to Carolyn and Arlieta Hall, a teacher and a performer who are amazing women and who give such great advice. We talk about being a teacher, how to not let people see when they've hurt you, and the coolest way to learn or teach your right from your left. It's honestly so great. You're going to love it. So get cozy and enjoy this episode of Mama Says. Thank you guys for being here. How are you today?
Good. Doing
I'm
well.
I'm just peachy.
Good. Are you both in Chicago?
I am.
I'm in Matson, which is like a suburb right out of Chicago.
Oh, okay. Is that where you always stay?
Yes, for the last 2 years.
Oh,
After I retired, this was my new home. But I haven't lived in Chicago in a long time. Yeah.
do you like living there better in Madison?
Oh, yes. 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 I like Chicago, but the thing about being in the suburbs is calm, the living is easy, just like that song, I like that. I,
Yes.
yes.
So you just recently retired, Carolyn?
Yes, I did. I
Congratulations.
worked for, thank you. Thank you. I worked for two, maybe three or four different school situations. I was a school psychologist. I was initially a teacher, and then I became a psychologist and I did some psychology work on the side. So it's been a very nice, fruitful, productive career.
Wow. What made you go from teaching to being a school psychologist?
You want to know the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
I wanted to do something more than just teach, you know, just being, I loved my kids, don't misunderstand me, but I wanted to do something different than just teach. And, uh, and the more you teach, the more you find the different issues that your children are experiencing, and you kind of want to go through it as opposed to constantly writing a referral with somebody to come down and help. That's I can read up on this and figure this out myself. So
Wow.
I went back to school and got a degree in psychology. So it's been a struggle, but I'm glad I did everything I did.
That is
I
amazing.
really am. Mhm.
Now I see why Arlita gets her ability to just get
Energy?
anything she wants. I love it. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So what do you do now that you're retired? Like what occupies your time?
I just, believe it or not, I do Zoom meetings with several different people. We have two different Bible study classes, and I really love it because after I retired and started working at another church, I became a Sunday school, not Sunday school teacher, but a new members class teacher. I love teaching. That's really in my blood, in my bones. So, and I was really enjoying that too. It's different to work with different levels, with different age groups, and just kind of we learn from each other, really, you know. And I
Definitely.
really enjoy that. In fact, I'll just add this one little tidbit. I know you didn't ask me, but there's an awesome um, it's a class at the church where they do sign language. And I have a nephew who has autism, and I want to be able to communicate with him. So I'm trying to figure out a way to trick her to show me how to do things without asking me to come and actually work with her to do it. And I would like to learn how to sign, you
Wow.
know,
And now
because
you've
he's
got this time to do it.
yeah, yeah, because he's just the spitting image of his dad, my nephew, and my dad. And his dad is my brother. But it's just I don't know. It bothers me that I can't communicate with him. And I see other people doing this. I said I can figure this out. They can do it. I can do it.
1,000%. And that's so like I see that a lot with people who are retired. They're like, some people are like, oh, I'm bored. But you just, you stay engaged and pick up things that you're still interested in. I think that's important that life doesn't just stop after you retire.
Yeah, that's true. Now the first few weeks, I had to convince myself. When I wake up at 8 o'clock, I don't work anymore. I can go back to sleep for another 3 or 4 more hours. So it's fun being able to do it at my leisure. That's fun. But you're right. I think it's important to keep the mind engaged in something. You
Right.
know.
So Arleta, what was it like having a mom that was a teacher?
Um, None of the excuses that other kids use worked for me at home. And because she was a psychologist, she tested. So it's three of us. She tested us all, like give us all IQ tests, like by the time we were talking. So there was like no playing that you could what she said. So that part of it was interesting. And then what she also did is she did mention it, she's a musician. So and she was the director of music at our church. So she played the organ and then taught the ensemble music. So I saw my mom, to be honest with you, work every day of the week. So I did see that you had to do some type of art, like that you're good at. You have to, even no matter what, how hard your 9 to 5 is working, you got to do your art some kind of way and have passive income.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Carolyn, you encourage your kids to like be artistic and
Well, I tried, and I think our leader held on to it, excuse me, a little bit longer than the others because Jasmine, that's my youngest, my daughter, she got a scholarship to go to, what is it, our leader?
I don't know. I don't
Arkansas,
know. You tell me.
Arkansas, right, University of Arkansas on a music scholarship. And she played with the band. Have you ever just watched seen not a concert, but a
Marching
football
band.
game? Well, you ever seen a football game? African American football game,
The
football team, HBCU.
football games.
where like the band is the most exciting part, like more exciting.
Yes,
Yeah. Wow.
yes. And after she graduated, she put the horn down. I was like, why? You can still do something with that. But she was tired. But we had fun going to homecoming because we know that band was really gonna be cutting up. You know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So as a musical, do you play an instrument? Arleta mentioned you were a musician.
I play keyboard.
Oh, nice. So was there a lot of music since your mom was a musical director? Was there a lot of music in your house growing up?
Oh yeah, let's tell the truth. Yes, it's still a key. It's still 2 keyboards in her house right now.
Mm.
We all took piano lessons. So me, my brother, and my sister all know how to play the piano. Me and my sister stayed in band. So my sister knows how to play the saxophone and the piano, and I play the flute and the piano. So it has been a very in my so interesting. So my mom is a musician. My father is also a musician. He plays the piano and the flute, and then my stepfather plays the piano as well. So it was music like nonstop surrounding our household all the time.
Wow. Did you ever want to go into music?
um, No. No, more like I do miss playing my flute, so I may get myself another. I actually have my original flute, so I may get it fixed or another one. So I wouldn't mind like playing and maybe like making beats and stuff now, but like I didn't think about like going all the way. I don't know. I don't know. I would do it now, like now, because I feel like we're in an era where you kind of got to do everything.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, I would, because I mean I feel like music is such a connecting piece, like for everybody, ages, races, anything. So I would love to get back into it. That's what we were supposed to be doing together,
Yeah.
Amber. Yes, Amber, so we were booked to do a holiday party to name that. We were gonna do I was gonna do maybe about 20 minutes of stand-up comedy, and then my mom was gonna do 15 minutes of name that tune, like a holiday tune. So we were gonna be singing and playing the piano along together. So Amber, we couldn't make it, but Amber is who actually filled in for us.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
you guys think you're gonna maybe do some more shows like that? That sounds awesome.
I would love to. Yes, I would
Yeah.
love to. I was hyped and ready to go, but I think I'm having some hormonal issues
Mm.
and maybe I've been in denial for a while, but I'm getting them checked out now. Okay.
Yay! That's the
Yes,
First step.
but I'm ready. I remember because I was wrong. I said, Aaliyah, you canceled it? Well, Mom, I said, I didn't tell you I couldn't play. But okay.
Taking care of mama. Do you miss performing, Carolyn?
Ye- yes, I do. And since that's something else about being home, the more I play, the more different types of songs like jazz and gospel and just different types of songs, it's like, okay, now that's what I want to do. Just play the songs I like, the other people might like just do it. I don't want to be on a gigging every week, you know what I mean? I don't want to have that kind of responsibility, but a show here, a show there, I love it, you know? Or just whenever this pandemic is over, just invite some people over and just have them name that too. I think
Yes.
that would be fun. Yeah.
Love that. So what was Arleta like as a child?
Busy. Very, very busy.
Good way
She
to
was, but
describe
she was sharp. She would pick up on stuff really quick. She learned how to play that flute so quickly. I was just amazed, and looking at how fast she was able to do that, that would made me want to encourage it more and more. And soon she graduated, the flute got put down, and I was into that. But I think she could have really, you know, and I'm glad she's thinking about doing it again because that is a good idea. But Arleta was really quick. She's very personable. She was just a not so much a hands-on person, but if she was determined to do something, she would do it. And let me give you a really quick example. Um, Growing up, I'm sure at your schools they had the same thing. The fundraiser for this, the fundraiser for that. And every school that had a band had a fundraiser. And so it was down to what I would do is just like a lot of my coworkers, we just take stuff to work and say, fill it in, give us some money
Right.
because just we know what this is about. And so I was in a hurry and I didn't take it to work with me. And I had to leave work and go straight to rehearsal. So I told Arlene, I said, Arlene, we'll just figure it out. When I get home tomorrow, we'll figure it out. No, okay, okay. And she hung up. I came back. My aunt said, yeah, well, Alita called me and said, hey, she's on this committee and she got to sell this. And she gave me, I said, what? She called at least 4 of my aunts and made sales. I said, okay. So she and that part of her is always been there. It's like, okay, this is not working. I'll figure out another way. I want to make this happen. That drive, that energy.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good
Oh,
quality to have.
thanks, Mom. And I didn't even,
Aw.
and I'm not paying her to say any of that.
No, she gonna pay me by getting us some gigs. All right.
Okay, Mom. I'm gonna pitch
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
Maybe Amber will get us booked for a show.
1,000,000,000%. Already, yes. So
But
even
yeah,
that, like, were there times, Carolyn, when you had to be like, Arleta, it's okay to chill? Like, or did you just let her go and do her thing?
I Most of the time I had to just let her do her thing, and I'll tell you why. I wanted her to learn from that, as opposed to me saying, okay, just watch, one thing in particular. I said, like my mother, because Alita had friends and friends and friends forever. I said, Alita, I'm gonna tell you what my mother told me. You may meet a gazillion people, you'll know a lot of people, but you can count your real friends on one hand. Arlene was not hearing that. I'm not loyal. All these people are loyal to me. Okay. So sometimes you got to learn those lessons for yourself to really, understand the meaning that, yeah, everybody that's, says they're in your corner may not be, or they're there for a particular reason. And it hurts, but that's life. You learn, you grow, and you grow from that and move on. You don't become bitter and, I'm just not going to, I really watch myself now. No, just don't go so far so quick. You know, let people show you who they are and then believe them.
That's really
hey,
good.
but I was 10. Who wants to hear that? Who's understanding that? at the tender age of 8 years old, then when they show you believe them, I'm like, she showed me her dowels, mom. They gotta pray. I'm trying to ride my bike over there. I believe her. That's where they live. You know,
I just want to go to a sleepover, Ma. That's it.
that's it. I'm like, she making so much of this.
But
This
she
is just a sleepover. Are you picking me up tonight? That's the real question. Can I go? Like,
Did you have an inkling ever, Carolyn, that Arleta was going to be a comedian?
honestly, I didn't. I guess it because when she majored in speech, well, we see she likes to talk. She likes to, because I consider her more as like a somebody that's going to be a spokesperson for something or really be advocating for something, you know, in that range.
Right.
And when she first started taking comedy classes, I said, really? Somebody gave you a gift card, right? Wasn't that Nikki's friend?
ICMA gave
Yeah.
me a improv class, a Groupon for improv.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, really? But, you know, but it seems to be part of what you do, you know,
Yeah.
because I think
What made it real? What made it real for you? Because you have to when you came to my first improv show, how did you feel? I know it's not my turn to ask questions, but now I want to know.
but because well, I'm sure you know I'm old school. I grew up in the Richard Pryor times. If you've ever heard of Richard Pryor, okay.
A little bit, yeah.
So I didn't really know. Okay, now if she's going to use a lot of profanity, and are we going to have a conversation, or are you just going to have to not invite me to certain things because I don't want to hear it all like that. But remember the person that heard from you, Arleta, was the one where you talked about signs, Sagittarius, and it was maybe a little cursy, but it was so funny. I was like, she is funny. You know, look at this. Okay. So
That's like the best thing you can do,
multifaceted.
Mom, as a comedian. You're like, you think I'm funny for real?
Right, I like that joke part. Like, yes, and that was my first set. I used to go to the riff where you pull a word out the hat and talk about it. So I pulled horoscopes. So that was like my first set ever, which was off the top of my head for like 5 minutes.
Oh,
So
you came to see the riff.
no, my boyfriend at the time recorded it for me. So I sent it to my mom, like, and everybody.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
Carolyn, did you always want to be a mom?
Yes. Yes, I did.
I'm not paying you. You could tell the truth.
I always did, and I always said in my mind, I want to be not totally opposite of my mother, because my mother is old school, very pomp and circumstance, and I wanted to be able to have a conversation, about anything without, the wrath of God gonna kill me, or it's like, and it really bothered me that I couldn't talk to her. I just could not talk to her, and so I didn't like being around her. And I said, I'm gonna have children, and they're gonna talk to me. That's my mindset. When I get to do this, I'm not gonna do it like that because I know how it made me feel. And I don't want them to feel like I can't talk to my mom. Yes, you can. You may not like everything I'll have to tell you, but you can still talk to me. We'll be okay.
You see what I mean? We'll be okay. Like, that's such a mature approach to have with children.
I had to, because you know what? When we were little, they would say things like, well, how did that make you feel? Now you know how it feels. We were big on those kind of terms. So it was like, I know how that feels. I don't want to make them feel like that.
What was it like setting up that relationship with your kids? Because you experienced something different. So how did you go about being like, you said they're going to talk to me. So would you like approach them and be like, what's going on? Or
I would just inject myself in the conversation.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and we did a lot of things together. I worked a lot. We did a lot of things together. We did. She was a part of my choir. And my son was a little bit, more to be seen than listened to as far as singing. But he took up space right where I needed that space to be taken. So, and the more they did it, the more they seemed to enjoy it, and then they started meeting people and I think that's a good way to establish some kind of friendships because you got a foundation. We both at least do the same thing. And if you get out of touch, well, you grow up and go one way and they go another, but now you got Facebook, so they can forever be in touch.
Right. My mom, put a lot of emphasis on being a person that I could come to too, but she also was like, we are not best friends. Like she kept having to say that, like, I am not your friend, so you aren't gonna like what I'm saying. That must have been interesting to like keep that. Was there ever a time where they would come to you and you'd be like, look?
Mm, I think maybe our leader might have felt like she's not ready to hear this, so she wouldn't bring it to me. And then eventually I'd find out about it anyway. But there are some things that they wouldn't bring to me. And then I would try and talk to them about some things, and they would kind of back off. But not that I always wanted to know, but I always wanted them to know that they could talk to me because that's something I never had. So I want them to know that the door is open if you want to come in.
I mean, I felt like we knew the door was open, but it's kind of like when we were younger. So my mom was the custodial parent, so I saw like my dad on the like weekends. So which means that she is in the position to be mommy and daddy 20, basically 90% of the time. She's both parents and the disciplinarian. Well, I'll say that the disciplinarian. I don't want to say, I don't want to take away from the fathers, but so it makes it in the same breath, like you want to talk to you, but it's like she disciplines me in the same breath. So like, do I want to tell you what I think you're gonna whoop me for? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And then like she would find, like for me, I would get in trouble. So I think I was a very good example for my baby sister. Like, so she was more honest with my mom about like stuff. She would come to her and tell her things like way more open. I think because she was able to see me like, look at our leader getting in trouble. Like,
I did not do that.
like mom heard her on the phone saying it anyway, so it's like I'm just it was I think that I know that you always try to be open, but I do want to be honest. I think that can be hard being having to be the disciplinarian, because who wants to be that honest with you? Like now I would, like she right took me maybe, I don't know. I definitely wasn't listening in high school. You don't really want to hear, I don't know. I didn't want to hear what my mom had to say about my friends in high school. Like that was, that was just like, these are my friends, you don't understand. College. And then once I was getting out of college, I was like, okay, all right, now you have to learn some things for yourself and just be honest. And then I had to be honest with her, like, Ma, you was right. What's wrong with me?
Every time.
Yeah. And then like last year she told me to like, she made a very good observation about me. She was like, laughter is your defense mechanism. And I was like, it is. Because I could be so mad at somebody, but if in a situation, I'm gonna laugh first before I like attack you. You like, some people first defense is to go off. Mine is to like laugh and find something funny about the situation, and that Amber, us being on stage, somebody could like, the first time I got heckled, it made me mad, but when you mad, you block up and you saying nothing. So like you gotta say something. And I laughed when she did that first. I was like, she's talking. Is she telling me? Am I gonna have to beat her up? Like, what? Like, okay, I can't do that. All right, I have to say something, So you have to work it out. But I didn't realize that I did that, and so it's a good quality to have, so I don't always build up a wall, but I don't always want everybody to think I think everything is funny. Well, I do think everything is funny. But I just want to keep my real emotions in check. Like, how does that really make you feel? Like, it's okay to find some humor in it, but be aware of how these people make you feel so you can set up the boundaries that you need to.
Totally. Both of y'all have great advice. Need to listen to both of you more.
Oh.
But
So,
I think too, being a comedian, you would kind of be, like I said, I grew up in the Richard Pryor era. So I think a lot of their comedy was, being prepared for somebody to, say, say something to you because, or else if you came in late to a show and they say, what y'all doing, just kind of clown you. And
Mhm.
sometimes people will clown you right back. So I think to be a good comedian, your mind got to be alert. You got to be sharp. You got to know you because, you know, the best remedy to me is comedy. Before it gets to an argument, you got everybody laughing at you, or laughing at him or whatever. But it's like, it's going to happen. You never know when, but it's gonna happen. Somebody gonna say something out. Oh, what is she talking? Who are you talking to? And sometimes I find that to be the funniest part of the set. Is when an audience member says something really funny or off, and then the comedian is ready for it. So,
right, because you can see them in
Yeah.
their like as their true self and their natural element.
right,
Yes.
Yeah.
right, right.
I know a big part of me was always like, oh, I just will hope that it never happens, and that is a poor way to approach it.
Yes, it is. Because then once it happens and it happens again, you're like, okay, I'm ready. Like,
There you go.
now you're
Mhm.
like, who said something?
Say something. Yeah.
I'm looking for somebody to stand up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta have a lot of nerve and a lot of spunk to do what you do, you know.
Do you go to a lot of Arlita? I mean, it's a pandemic now, but before, did you go to Arlita shows or did you
I
see?
did. I did. Yeah.
That's awesome. It's always
Yeah.
scary to have your parents in the audience. For me, I'm like, oh no.
No, she came to a lot of my stand-up shows, a lot of my improv shows. Any show that I did that she came to. Even
Mhm.
right before the pandemic hit. I was in a musical sketch comedy show you came to. So I really do appreciate how much my family come. And then they've been coming since I know I'm still a new comic, but like new comic. So like when you get put up either first or last, and they have stuck it out.
Mhm.
They have driven all the way up north.
Mhm.
So I really appreciate my family. They have, and I do mine. You have been there. I mean, my first my first improv show was in Evanston. Like,
Mhm.
so I just appreciate you all coming and then laughing because my family don't laugh at anything, especially my mama. If somebody not funny, she not laughing.
Just in the front row.
Mm-mm. And like I knew I was funny one show I went to. It was in the hood, it was late. And then she was like, I've never been really good at sports. So I've never seen her at a game like, put our leader in the game. It's time. Like, you need somebody to win, put our leader in. Like that's never been our situation. But this one show, she was like, when are you going up? When you going up? They need somebody funny. It's your turn. I was like, I was so excited in the same breath. I was like, I mean,
You're like, okay, thanks, mom.
it's time for me to get out there. Was it? Can I go up next? Am I up next? Like,
Okay, that's the person to have at your show.
yes. And I mean, just being such a diva, I just loved it. So, yeah, I appreciate it.
Good.
What were some of the challenges? Like you said, you always wanted to be a mom, Carolyn. What were some of the challenges of being a mom that you didn't expect?
Haha. Well, I didn't expect to be the mom and the dad at the same time. That's for sure.
Hmm.
Didn't expect okay, I gotta do this, gotta do that, and gotta get to work, and ah. But I did. What can I say? I wasn't prepared. I just said, okay, let me just make this work. Because in my mind, it's like, that'd be an excuse to whine. And I'm not a whiner. So I'll figure this out. And I did. And I think that's what our leader got from me. You know, yeah, it looks really bleak now, but we're going to make it bright again. We'll make this work. Okay? We'll make this work. Yeah. So I had a lot of jobs, but I really enjoyed what I did. Okay. I enjoyed being a counselor. I enjoyed being a teacher, enjoyed being a psychologist. I love music. So I think if it was like a job that I just begrudgingly disliked, it would have been different. But I was doing what I enjoy doing, you know. And so when you're doing what you enjoy, it doesn't seem like it's work.
Right.
It's just kind of juggling, to get here, to get there. I would cook dinner like on Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, have the meals all specialed out. So all you got to do is, and then I had a very supportive team, my niece and my cousin. They were there. They were always go over there and, this is what you do. Here's the food. Here's this. See you when I get back. Because I was going to school at night. And
Wow.
they just really, they made it happen for me. They did.
It's amazing.
Yes.
I know you went, like, you had to be going through a lot mentally, like with school and feeding your kids and all this, the extra stuff you're doing. Like, was it difficult did you try to shield that from them, or were you just straight up like, hey, this is hard when things got hard? What was that like? Like,
I just shielded it from them. I don't think they saw it. I just did it. It had to be done. So I just did it. And I didn't, and I even though I was feeling a lot of pressure, I wouldn't reveal that to them because I wouldn't want them to say, oh, well, if I go through something, I'll just do like mommy did. She got tired and she stopped. No, because life is hard. So I have to be the example I want you to be. I don't want you to say, well, I can't do this and this at the same time. That's just too much. No, you can do it. You can do it. And if you see that it is too much, then you can decide which thing you want to cut out. But I didn't want them to say, she can't do it. She's tired. She's falling apart at the end. No. I think the only time they saw me cry was at a funeral, right?
I mean, and look how you proud of that.
At Chuck's funeral. That was the only time you ever saw me. I was just torn apart, my cousin. And when my brother died. But you were so little. You don't even remember that.
And your mother. But other than that, no, I never seen my mother cry or complain. Which is crazy. Her and my dad, neither one of them complain. They're just gonna figure out how to get it done. I.e. to him being locked out of here and even figuring out how to get in here. He's not gonna ask for help or complain. Like, that's just not a trait that I learned from my parents. Help and complain. Now they will delegate. Like, I've learned that, like, that, like, you need to delegate people, but complain, no. Or cry, no.
Right. You don't have to suffer, get help, but like.
The last time I called my mom crying, she was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Grab a timer, okay? All right. And watch something funny and call me back. Call me back. Time yourself. All right. How long is that? 20 minutes. Okay. Next time that same thing comes up, you shouldn't be crying as long as 20 minutes. It should be down to 15. Try to cut some time down each time. Now, it does work sometimes, but I will I will time myself crying now because I am a comedian at heart. It is like funny, like, now how long was you sitting there doing that? 10 minutes. Okay, you could journal that. Don't tell nobody you was crying 10 minutes straight, but but it has helped me to try to, settle down. And then I've also been in therapy, so that was a request of my mom to find somebody to talk to. Like, it's not easy, but it is important to find people to talk to and to get it out, because we are not always okay. We should not have to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders and feel like we can't complain. or can't break down and cry, because we should be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's too much on you, Ma, and that's always been too much on you for you to have to feel like that. And I hate that that was the life that you were given. Not that it was not like we were just struggling, but it's not fair that you had to take on that much responsibility. So I'm appreciative for how he went through it, because you did not do all that. Woe is us. Get your sister. Get your brother. Because I'm about to make it real negative up in here. Like, I'm glad that was the way we were taught and the way we were raised. But, we were raised with a lot of laughter. We watched a lot of comedy. My mom has a lot of stand-up comedians. So I was raised and I felt like, Steve Harvey was my uncle. I thought he was like Uncle Steve, Cedric the Entertainer, that's Uncle Uncle Steady, like Uncle Richie, so these was our family members that kind of helped, to be honest, kind of push through times like that.
Can I share this real quick story with you?
Please.
Okay. When I was teaching in high school, and it was like Friday, and just remember back when you were in high school, okay? And I'm gonna call her Pat. Pat came down to my office, and she was just crying. And I'm thinking they had, well, in that area, I'm thinking somebody got shot. So I'm really happy, And she saw her boyfriend, or they broke up. And then he kept walking past her with this other girl. And the more she talked, it was just watching her. She just went, oh. And this was a Friday. I'm so glad it was a Friday. So I said, okay, what am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to? I said, you can't change him. Can't make him stop walking where you are. Because he's doing that because you're doing this. So let's get a plan. We got to draw a plan. So I took her book. And she likes Mary J. Blige. I said, Mary J. writes most of her stuff, right? She said, yeah. I said, why don't you just write a poem or write something? She said, okay. I said, that's thing number one. Then number two, she's not with her sister that much. And her sister comes up on the weekend. So why don't you not go to the show or go roller skating or something? Yeah, write it down. That's number two. So we just had a lesson plan, so to speak. And then time yourself. Okay, if you cried 10 minutes today, tomorrow it shouldn't be more than 7. There should be more than 7. And come Monday, you'll be okay. Okay, meaning, I can't tell you how long it's going. You're going to hurt. If you're that crazy about him, it's going to hurt. But never let him see you do it. That's what he's getting off on, okay? Mm-hmm. He knows he walk past you. You got to walk past you and you go, what's up? Keep going.
And then he'll be right back the next week. Once he'll be like, oh, what? You don't like me anymore?
I'm going to say, like just 14, 15, 16. He don't have that much power. He's just playing games with you. I said, as long as he thinks he can get a rise out of you, he's going to keep doing it. Yep. So next time you see him walk and hug on her, just go, keep going.
Yeah. Where did you learn, like,
experience? Experience is the best teacher.
What about the timing yourself crying thing? Is that just something you did once and you were like, okay, I got to stop myself from crying. I'm just going to put a timer on it.
Well, I read some therapy stuff and got that. But for me, my whole persona was, I would never give anybody the satisfaction of seeing how you hurt me. I don't know how you think that makes me, but that was me. You'll never know how much you hurt me. If it meant I would cry at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna be up the next day, make up and just, oh, okay, hey, what's up? And keep going. Don't mean I'm not hurt, but I wouldn't give them the satisfaction of seeing me hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's being an egomaniac or something like that. It's like,
it sounds like it works, so you're good.
So I guess that's why I went through 2 marriages and all this other stuff, right? It's like, they're not gonna see me. Okay, all right, you gone, but you can't come back.
Yeah.
The back and forth. No, you gone. That's it. Yeah, and that hurts. It hurts like you wouldn't believe, but I'm not gonna give you that satisfaction. I think that's egomania. And maybe that's part of what I have, a big ego. It's like, I ain't gonna give you that.
So
And it hurts.
About
I
having
tell you,
it's
it hurts. It hurt. No, I know how it feels. I wasn't in high school, but I was in college, and you see, I thought we was together, and here you coming to the dance with somebody I ain't never seen before, and now your friends. Y'all was talking. I said, I don't know why you thought that. Why were y'all was together? I said, just because I'm sitting and talking to somebody don't mean we are, you know. And I was just crushed inside, but he ain't gonna never know it. Nope,
nope, nope.
You'll never know. I see you didn't care about me no way. Talk to the hand. I don't even want to hear it.
oh, that's right.
You know, it's not like I don't feel things, because I do, but I just have that. I don't know where I got that from. Maybe I got that from my mother. You know, because the only time I ever saw her cry was at my father's funeral, and because I never heard it, it scared me. We were sitting on the front row, and tears were falling. Then I heard something. I said, "Hey, Charles, he said, yes. She's crying. I said, yeah. I was like, dang. We had never seen that before. And I guess unbeknownst, that was a part of her that I just kept with me.
Right.
I'll say it, you know. And I think that's the one time or a couple of times my children have seen me not at my best is at a funeral. You know, I deal with it, but like Grace, child, come on, you know, those are my, you know. But hey, we all go through. But just some Negro to think you're gonna get somebody else and come up in my face and think I'm gonna fall apart about it. To hell with both of y'all.
Yeah. You heard that. All right. So what's the most beautiful thing you find about each other?
I would say how resilient
Yeah, I was thinking
my
that.
mother is. Yeah. It's the resilience for me. Like it's nothing really can knock you down. And then I love the fact that you want to be informed and educate yourself and stay on your toes and be creative. But it's the resilience for me, because we're on earth, and it's so many things that can just knock you down. But to see people trying to overcome, and not just people, my mama being like my main overcome. I'm like, okay, my mama overcome this. Or if you having a stress or depressed, whatever it could be, she can sit down and just play the piano and just escape. And I'm just like, she just getting over that feel, you know. So I just love it. That's what it is for me.
Well, I'm glad you're getting something from this. Yeah.
Carolyn, what about Arlieta? What's the most beautiful thing you find about her?
That she is determined to be successful. She's determined. She's had a lot of road things in the way as well, but she keeps on going. She keeps on going. And I really do think she's funny. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
1,000%. For anybody listening, you gotta follow Arlieta Hall. She is amazing. You're hilarious.
Thank you so
much.
Yeah. And I just want to thank my fans for today's nomination.
Arlieta, do you want kids?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. But I am blessed right now. I do have godchildren that I get to spend my time and energy on before I have my own kids,
Mm,
and they are my joy.
that's so sweet. Because you
Uh,
can like give them back at the end of the day, right?
Yes, and then they don't even want to go back from me at the end of the day. Like, I want to stay with Lita. Like, let me stay. And I got like a couple of like, so I have like maybe 7.
Wow.
So I would say I literally, so I'll be honest, I got asked to be 2 children, like verbally asked to be 2 verbatim. Um, the other one I inherited, third one I inherited, and then the others, that's their siblings. So it's like, if Lita around, she's just as much as mine. They think I'm a big kid, so it's like halfway she an adult, halfway she here to play with me. Like we should be rolling around right now. Um, and then they each age. So my godsons, like the oldest is 15, the middle one is 8, and the youngest is 4. So like I've played the 15-year-old. I mean, I've been in his life since he was born. So
Wow.
for him, it's like he was not initially my godson, but he became my godson. He was like 2, don't tell nobody. But he that was my first baby. But he so of course I have to play with him. I taught him like his right from left. And I say that because I did. His mom knows it if she ever sees this. And I taught him in a very cool way.
Mhm.
Electric slide. I did. I'm telling you,
Yes.
foot stomp. Okay, your left foot stomp. You turn with your left. You know, that's how we did. Back it up. And jump. So that's how we learned that. And it's like, so he gets to watch me play with his younger brothers. You know what I mean? So I play with the 8-year-old, then the 8-year-old looking at me like, okay, it's our leader turn to play with the 4-year-old. So they just, they are my light. I really do. That's, other than my, like my mom and like my, my family, like that is the definition of love. Like the energy, what I feel from them is like, it is really love. Like, I'm like, oh, this what this feel like. So yeah.
Mm. You are such a good caretaker and just like you have such a big heart. Like, have you always been like that? Did you ever think that maybe if you weren't a comedian, you'd be like a nurse or some kind of caregiver professionally?
No.
um,
No. Yeah. No, I I've always loved people and working with them. So the last job I had was I was a human services caseworker. So I was basically managing cases and establishing like eligibility for like Medicaid, SNAP benefits, things like that. I would help them also look for work, employment. And I would say like, and from that to like doing improv, and I've worked with children like in a school, like as a teacher's aide. So I'm saying like working in different jobs, I'm like, can't do it like this, can't do it like this. So I would have to work with people with my own way of designing things. Because systematically, the way that I want to work with them, the systems I don't fit in. And it's like I can't make them do it my way. So I have to come up with my own way. So like me working with my dad, I would provide the same type of care for my aunt who passed recently or like anybody else I'm around. So I think for me, I didn't see myself as becoming the caregiver that I am for my dad right now, but I can see myself improvising with somebody like that and talking to them and laughing with them. I've always been nice like that and friendly and wanting to have a conversation. So, and always nice to elders. Like I've always respected my elders. So I could always see myself doing something of this nature, but not this. But like I can see myself working with people, and I hate to keep saying like that, but my own way, because I I don't know, like even kids, my mom would tell you, when I was working in the school, she was like, I think you're so great with quiz. I said, not no way in the world would I keep working here. I'm not trying to be a teacher. But since I learned improv, and I think it's different ways to communicate with children and some fun ways of my experiences, I would teach children improv or art or comedy. So for me, I guess I had to just keep going through life and learning different ways that I would do things. Like, I don't want to teach nobody's child math. Like, no. Mm-mm.
1,000%.
But can I do we want to talk some jokes? Like, bring me the babies, you know? So I know that was a long way to answering it, but no, I did not see myself doing this. I thought I would be like, she kind of said, representing somebody else's company. I've always been in sales, so I've always felt like I was gonna be doing something like that. Never this. Mm-mm.
But that's a good approach though, because one size doesn't fit all, right?
Yeah. But that was me learning that when you don't have when I didn't have a job. It's like, okay, what are we gonna do?
I was a teacher for a little bit, and I realized.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for a year I was
a whole year.
Well, that's all I could take. Okay, I realized that it takes a special. I mean, I think being a teacher is a calling. Like it takes a special kind of person and heart and calling to teach kids, because it was wild to me, like taking care of 20 other kids who weren't mine and like who all come from different backgrounds. It was a little overwhelming, and I just like colored a lot. Like that's how I handled it.
What grade did you teach?
They were 4, so it was pre-K.
Oh.
Oh. Yeah. So I was surprised by how smart 4-year-olds were. Like they were like playing games with me. Like they almost had me a couple of times. They were like, "Miss Amber, can we like get free snacks and free this?" I'm like, "Wow, you guys are already so mature." This is wild.
Yes, and full of the whys. Well, why? What else? It's like, oh, how are we doing that?
I don't know. Did you always know you wanted to be a teacher, Carolyn?
Yeah. Until I started teaching. I gotta get out of this classroom. But you know what? The bureaucracy behind it made me. I said, I'd rather do something a little different. Yeah. But I did like working with small children. I really did. Because they're funny.
Yes.
They are really funny, you know. Yes, indeed.
They remind you that not everything is like set in stone, right? The things that they say.
Oh man, I tell you. You taught the little ones, so those are the ones that really can get you going. I just remember back when I was teaching, and this was like pre-K, and because they were younger, school was out at 2:30. So at 2:00, that's when we started putting on boots and all this kind of stuff, because you're out the door at 2:30. I was not playing with that. And then I started trying to teach them how to do it themselves, you know. Or then I would accidentally give somebody else the wrong suit. Well, why didn't you tell me it wasn't yours? You didn't ask me. You just can't come over here and sit down. So I just came over here and said, so they're sweet. But I said, I can't do it. I just can't keep doing this. Oh, there was one situation. This is a long time ago. Okay. This was my first time in kindergarten, teaching kindergarten. And I had no assistant. It was just me. And I was trying to get all the paperwork together because I wanted to come back the next day. I was like a sub. And this one little boy kept coming up to me. He hit me. I said, okay, well, just sit over here. He'll be okay. And I was trying to get through the paper. Came back again. He hit me again. I said, but you just stay over here with me. So I started doing the paper. And all of a sudden I heard, ah! I said, what happened? He hit me and I just threw this box at him. I was like, oh my God. And he was a Hispanic boy. And this started turning red. I was just praying and rubbing. Oh, don't let this boy go home. Just red mark on his head.
Oh my God.
I'll call the police and I'm going to jail.
No.
And he gonna say, I told her she could I can't do this no more.
I can't do
I was just rubbing and praying. And it came back together. So okay, so this is what happens in the classroom stays.
Everybody.
I didn't want to come back the next day and parents waiting on me at the door.
Right.
But, oh wow, that was an experience. I'll tell you.
So Arleta, you have siblings. What's something special about like your guys' relationship that's unique compared to maybe your siblings?
Me and my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Ma, shut the door so Jazz can't hear you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
um, I would say we are, me and my siblings are like my mom in three different ways. Like we all share a lot of different similarities to her. I think I share my mom's her like performing abilities
Mm.
the most. Like I'm putting this to get like production. Like I'm gonna put this show together. We producing this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have it filmed. Like she was getting our choir concerts like filmed in like 96. Like
Wow.
I think I share like the whole production of stuff like with my mom. Like this how we gonna do it. We're gonna practice this, we're gonna learn this, you're gonna drill it, learn it so it's in the back of your head. So when you get up there, you could just have fun. So I share that the most with her. And then she put us in a lot of different things when we were younger, like dance, karate. I was in ballet, tap, I was singing, playing instruments. So
Wow.
I kind of a lot of the I'm out of the siblings, I'm using probably most of those talents more than my siblings are right now. But we're each equally talented, but I think I held on to the performing, like I want to be on stage.
Yeah.
My siblings was like, nah, I don't gotta do all that.
Arleta's got it.
Alita can do it. I'm not doing all of that. I'll help you, but I don't want to do that. Like so I'm the most like her with not wanting to be on the scene and performing, doing my art.
What made you put them in all those? I mean, that's amazing that you got that experience with all of the karate. What made you like get them to do those classes? Just so they'd have the experience?
They have experience and learn some relationship skills, learn how to interact with other people, uh, look at new doors, because I just feel like summertime was when we really did it. Said, oh, I was not working during the summer. They were not going to be home with me.
Gonna keep y'all busy.
Okay. I was checking out stuff in January. This you're doing, this you're going to do. Yes. So I can have a real break,
Oh, I never knew that. I'm so glad we having this conversation. I never knew. I'm just thinking like we were always busy. That's why. So you
No,
got
it was for you.
It was not for me. She was applying in January. That means she got an early bird discount. It was never.
And look how that benefits you. You learn people skills and you learn how to interact and talk to people that are not just like you. It helps. And then I could just sit back at that time and watch all my children without being bothered with the real children. The soap opera. Yeah.
So Carolyn, if you could give some Mama Says advice to listeners, whether that be to kids or mamas, what would your Mama Says advice be?
Put God first and think about how would you want somebody to address you? Treat people like you want to be treated. Talk to your children like somebody should have talked to you so we wouldn't be where we are, So learn from we go through drama for a reason and we should learn from that, And that's really a lot of what I thought. How would I want my mother to talk to me? Would I want her to go off all the time or just hear me out? Might not have been my fault this time, Just listen for a second. And then if you
Help you
find
say
out,
that better, Mom.
huh?
I can help you say that better. So,
Okay.
my mom has a program called apps. So if we had to say Mama says, I would say Mama says use apps. Apps stands for when you have it's for problem solving. So when you have a problem, you use apps. Apps is A, what actually happened. P, what's your perception? S, what is the solution? So if I would say what Mama says use apps.
Carolyn, you taught it. Look, she got it. That's really great. I love that.
Yeah.
So now our time is coming to a close together, and I appreciate you both so much. This has been a great time, and I really enjoyed meeting you, Carolyn.
Thanks. I really enjoyed this too.
Perfect.
I wasn't sure. I was trying to remember the answers, but I'm glad you didn't ask them.
Oh,
Yeah, this was fun.
good. Before we wrap up, since this is stamped in time, and you guys will have this forever, I want to ask, what would you like each other to know forever?
My love is unconditional.
Ma, I read that on the back of the Hallmark card that you had on the table. Come up with your own stuff.
Slap inside your head. Child abuse.
My love is
unconditional. Never give up.
Okay.
Never change.
Well, I'll go. I'll come up with something. So, one thing I want you to know, Ma, is that I really love you, and I'm so appreciative for everything that you have done for us. I do not think that it was fair for you to be in a situation that you have been to kind of be forced to do a lot on your own, So I'm just thankful, and I am so happy that we all turned out as graduates, educated. And I'm just hoping that as I continue on this journey, and I'm so appreciative you supporting me, like not going without having a job, taking care of my dad. So I'm just saying this here as a timestamp. I should be able to buy my mom a house, car, dog, whatever she wants in the future. So I'm speaking that into existence. I would love to just be able to cater to you and show you the things that you need for everything that you've done.
Oh.
Now this would be the time that you get to say something really sweet. And
you heard all those wonderful accolades I've already given to you, but what is your name again? Amber. I'm really enjoying this. I had no idea it was going to be this nice. I was just expecting the pomp and circumstance kind of, but it's more of a conversation.
Yeah, I just really want to get to know awesome moms. Like, you guys have a story that deserves to be told. So I'm really grateful to get to know you.
Oh yeah, and I think one of the key takeaways is I didn't plan to have 3 children and have to take care of them myself. Okay, but it happened. You can plan all you want, but sometimes it don't work out like that. But that doesn't mean you throw in the towel. Keep going. Keep going.